So where do I begin? Okay, so I defended Joyce Sparkle BS months back when she first really was at the peak of her popularity. I think that was in January. I'm really bad with the dates, but I think that's when it was. And I defended her because there was, I mean, this is really undeniable. If her haters want to deny this, that proves they're just in a bubble, because even some of her haters admit that there was this instant sort of mob that came after her when she was producing an obsessive amount of Onision videos. And a lot of it was because they were saying that she was interfering with Onision's marital issues and whatnot, which was pretty silly. But yeah, so that was, I was defending her against that backlash. Now fast forward now, and it is the end of July, pretty much August, and she, on a live stream, I think because she's gotten a lot more comfortable with being kind of in a fishbowl sort of setting, you know, with the internet 24/7 with her live streaming and stuff, she was speaking about something traumatic. She was speaking about how she had been raped, and a lot of people say it wasn't really rape because it was, she was in a relationship with the dude, and so how could that have been rape, blah, blah, blah. Well, I can tell you that somebody taking advantage of your body just because they are with you, that doesn't mean that they own you. So for those of you who say it wasn't rape because she was in a relationship, I really question your morality if you think it's okay to take advantage of somebody and not listen to them when they say no just because you're with them. Being with somebody does not equate to ownership of another body. That's a violation. So anyway, she had been crying about that, and then she ended up turning, you know, into laughter, and then she was talking about how people are accusing her of being racist for using the adjective brown to refer to people of color, and she expounded on that. And then when Mike and Actor, you know, was reacting to what she was saying by pretty much just some giggles, she elaborated and proceeded to pretty much illustrate just how people are so quick to call her racist. And it backfired, because when she made the very tasteless, mindless joke, by the way, I was like the only one that I could see on Twitter anyway who was a fan of hers, who immediately told her that I can totally see how this would offend and hurt people, how she really needs to take the approach of kindness and compassion and understanding in this situation. At the same token, I can understand why being accused of being a racist when you're not racist at all would be extremely hurtful too. So I understand her defensive reaction, you know, because the true racists I know in this world, I'm from Tennessee. I'm in Minnesota now, but I'm from Tennessee, and there was an abundance of racism down there. Still is. I mean, this was a state where people were hanging fake Obamas from trees when Obama got elected, okay? And these sorts of racist people, if you confront them with their racism, instead of getting defensive and vehemently denying that they're racist, they do the opposite. They shrug their shoulders and they're like, well, if that's what you think, I can't change your mind. Like, they don't care, because they don't care if you think they're racist, because they know deep down they are, so they're not going to go out of their way to try to deny that they're racist. Does that make sense? The fact that she got so... For me, I don't know about y'all, but for me, one of the worst things in the world, especially if you're an open person, is to be accused of lying. To be accused of being something that you're not. Slander, basically. Because when you put yourself in a vulnerable position, you put yourself out there, you're not candy coating anything, you're just being you, unfiltered and raw, as ugly as it may be, when you get accused of being something you're not, it feels like you're being stabbed emotionally, because it's like, and how can you really prove, you know, like, it's so hard in the digital world to prove things. If people want to assume something about you, they'll just write it as fact. So, however, like I said, I did tell her that the joke was really, I explained how I grew up a Jew in a Jewish family in redneck South, and a redneck part of the South, I should say. And I was called half-breed. I would hear Anne Frank jokes, Holocaust jokes, Hitler jokes. I say jokes in quotations because I didn't really see the humor in it. I know that people say, like, never apologize for a joke. That's, I think Mike and Actor said that that's what, was it, oh God, the awesome comedian who died. Anyway, and while I can sort of see where that's coming from, at the same time, we are complex creatures. We have emotions. We personalize things. And I'm not saying that, you know, if we get offended, we should dictate what people can and cannot say, because I'm very thankful and grateful for free speech. Obviously, I talk a lot, so. But at the same time, in a civilized era, we do have to practice mindfulness. And so that is why I felt compelled to tell Joy, you know, it wasn't, if I put myself in a person of color's shoes, and if I heard that, especially out of context, like the way these anti-Joy channels love to portray her, if I would immediately feel hurt from that. Because the thing is, this is where I can see why people would be hurt, is because if I would never say something, even as a joke, that a truly racist person would say and mean. Does that make sense? Like, I would never say something that someone could accidentally think I meant. Like, if a racist person would hear that and think it's funny and repeat it, then there's no way I'm gonna throw them that bone to chew. Does that make sense? So, because that's how I would feel when people would make these disgusting and frank jokes, is I would be thinking like, okay, even if you say that you're not anti-Semitic, the fact that you're echoing the same anti-Semitic rhetoric makes me feel like it's being validated somehow. And either way, it's being put out into the universe, and it could still potentially cause pain in others. Okay, regardless of intent, if it's still causing pain, I don't want to take that risk. Okay, so that's where I completely understand the backlash. But she has apologized, and like I said, true racist people don't get as defensive as she did. They just don't. Like, they would just shrug their shoulders and say, think what you want. She's not doing that because she really knows, because she's spoken on previous videos countless times against racism. When she's spoken against Trump, a lot of it has had to do with racism. I don't know, I think her political leanings are independent. Like, she's kind of like I am in that regard. She's not like liberal or conservative. She's kind of on the fence with both, but I know for a fact that when it comes to racism, she's not on the fence. Same with transgender issues. I would say she socially is more liberal for sure, which is against racism. So the thing is, though, that now I can understand why people would be hurt, especially people of color. I can understand why Joy would be hurt, because people are threatening her and slandering her and stuff as a racist. Now, okay, so now for the last few days, have seen a lot of these reaction videos, which is expected. But a lot of these reaction videos, people are lying. They're just flat out lying. Like the Chambers of the Heart person who's butthurt to this day because Joy got more popular than she did. I mean, I'm sorry, I could be wrong about that, but that's what it looks like. I mean, it really does. And I don't know her as a person. I don't know I can't judge her because I don't really know her, but I do know that she got really, I noticed a two-faced, I noticed several two-faced streams from this Chambers of the Heart girl subsequent to Joy no longer being her friend. It reminded me of like middle school drama. Like, okay, well now I'm suddenly going to hate the girl just because she's not my friend anymore. It was childish, but so she made a video talking about how she's spreading this rumor that Joy gave an 11-year-old advice on, I don't remember what it was on, medical advice or something, but it dealt with being bullied. Here's the thing. If you actually aren't lazy and you value the truth and you take the time to listen for yourself, to research things for yourself. I say research loosely though, because it's not really researching to just play a video. Like, go to the actual source for yourself. If you take what people say at face value about Joy, who are haters, you clearly have a bias and you don't value the truth. You just value emotion and competition. But if you actually look at the video, she says, so by the way, how old are you? After she says sarcastically, oh, well, you need to rape those bullies. You need to rape them. Clearly she doesn't mean that, but I do agree. Again, that was tasteless. However, right after that, she says, wait a minute, how old are you? And then the kid says, 11. And then she goes, oh, what? And there's like a, 5-second pause. And then she's like, you're 11? Oh my God, honey, I thought you were at least 18. Like, I totally thought you were a college person. I thought you were in college. And in Joy's defense, this person articulated themselves like a college person would. I mean, excuse me, I have to burp. There was really no indication that this person was a minor, let alone 11. So if this person's even being honest, I don't know. But they said they're 11. I believe them, whatever. So Joy was astounded. She couldn't believe it. She immediately told this 11-year-old, look, I do not mean anything, like, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but I cannot have an 11-year-old on my stream. There's just too much adult content. If you want to private message me, that's fine, but I feel really bad, and I can't believe that I just said what I said to you because you are 11. So, I mean, how are so many of you not, like, how are so many of you are able to spread that she deliberately advised an 11-year-old on stuff? either you have no integrity, like you don't care about the truth, or you're ignorant to the actual stream because you're too lazy to look it up for yourself, or you're a liar. I mean, it's one of those. So, gosh, what else was I going to say? A lot of her haters really do just have, I've noticed this pattern of lying. There's this Mikey. It's either Michael, or Mikey. I don't know. But his channel, I don't know how many subs he has. I don't know. I don't even keep up with my own sub counter. I never have. But this person he made a video that blew up on Joy back in May, I think. And it was against Joy. And I had commented on the video because in the video he says, this, we need to take her, or he says, this is worse than the Daddy of 5 stuff, or it was along those lines. And then I commented and I was like, you're actually thinking that her being obsessed and possibly exaggerating her illnesses is worse than Daddy of 5? And then he was like, well, he said something like really bratty and catty, like, well, obviously that's what I said, or something again along those lines. It was some of that nature. And then right after that, I said, so you mean to tell me that you really do think that an obsessive person, I forgot exactly how I worded it, but the gist was, you're still telling me that someone like her is worse than child abusers? Really? And then he said, yeah, obviously you can't read, or again, something along those lines. And then I responded, I reiterated, like, in other words, pay attention to what I asked you the second time. It's not exactly the same as, so he makes this video and he screenshotted just where I left my initial comment, and he chopped out the part where I clarified my second question. And then he just put where I reiterate to make me look stupid. So this is a classic pattern, though, that I've seen with a lot of these Joy haters, is they're liars. I'm not going to say the name of this one who's disabled, because I feel like she's going through a lot of mental stuff, and I think she's a good person to heart, but I feel like she also could possibly have borderline personality based on things I've seen her do to several other people, and just how she really, I don't know, that I see a lot of my mother in her, and it just, anyway, so this woman, though, did the same thing. She would delete comments and then completely rewrite history, and it's scary to see, because online, you know, when you want to lie like that, like liars, I think that's why a lot of like sociopaths stay away from the internet. If you notice, a lot of like killers and sociopaths and like pathological liar type people, they are not really frequent on the internet that much. Like they are like in a creepy way, but I mean, like, they don't publicize themselves like Greg, like Onision, or Joy, or myself, or I don't know, like, just think of your run-of-the-mill YouTuber. Most sociopaths, I'm not talking about sexual creeps, because a lot of them just truly have, I'm talking about like people who want to go out and do really bad things, who have pathological lying problems. A lot of times they stumble over their words too much online, so they don't get online that much. Like certain in-laws of mine, they'll post pictures and they put these fake images, like they put this, I don't know, fake portrayal of themselves online for all to see, but they don't really do much interacting like verbally, because in real life they are pathological liars, and I really do think it has a lot to do with, because they know that, you know, that they leave a trace on the internet, so it's hard. Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, I've just noticed a lot of these lies. People are spreading that she advised an 11-year-old, and they're making it sound like she did it on purpose and that she knew she was 11. They're making it sound like she's worse than Daddy of 5. There's a girl who, like, she's obsessed with this killing games where you're like killing people throughout the whole game. I don't know, but one of her videos, she talks about, while she's playing her killing game, she says, we need to take her down. We need to take her down more than Daddy of 5 even. And I don't understand this logic. Those of you, again, I question your morality. If you truly think someone like Joy is worse than child abusers, wow, that says more about you. Now, you don't have to like her, and I always want to say this. A lot of you say that I am like stuck up her quote-unquote butthole. I find that interesting, that two people who like Joy are put in this category of being in a clan, when really a lot of us will admit what she does that's wrong. We'll just say that, you know, we don't hate her. We don't talk to her other Joy fans. We're not like some groupies. We don't all hang out in groups. But at the same time, we're going to defend her when people are saying things about her that are not true. That does not make us clan members. What I've seen more of a cult mentality are the people who get this thrill out of talking badly about her and making things up about her and twisting things that are said about her. People who are willing to be too lazy to even look stuff up themselves and just jump on the hate wagon. That's more of cult-like behavior. That's more of a clan-type behavior, because you're not thinking for yourself. It makes you feel popular and liked when you join the other hyenas who are doing all the hating. It makes you feel like you are a part of something you can relate to. And, you know, I get that to a degree, But at the end of the day, you are being toxic and like, again, you're not valuing the truth. You're just valuing the thrill of trying to bring someone down. So, and I always say this and I mean it, Joy would help each and every one of you, even her haters, if in that position, even if no one could see, even if it was behind the scenes. And I know this, and a lot of you say, do you know her personally? Well, we've spoken a lot in personal messages since January. And another thing, I was accused of being an irresponsible mother for offering for her to stay with me. Y'all don't know the details to this. I could really screenshot it if y'all wanted, but I have several messages where she provided all of her personal information, all the background check information, etc., which I know how to do because when I had a nannying job at my previous house, I actually ran background checks. Like I would have, like I had it set up to where I could provide that sort of information and I could look it up myself. But I actually had it even way before my nannying business. I had it when I had a private investigator and I was dealing with other things. But yes, so I wasn't a fool about it. And that's another thing, y'all act like if you don't hate Joy and you don't want to accuse her of being a scammer, that therefore we're fools. It's more foolish to just repeat hearsay. That's what's more foolish. It's more foolish to be like, well, she's a scammer, don't you know? She's got to be lying. I mean, I read it online that she's lying. Okay, well, where's the evidence? Look, read it right here. So-and-so said it. Okay, so-and-so said it. You know what? Do you worship the word of people or do you actually believe evidence? Because I don't care how many people are saying this. That doesn't matter to me. There was a time period when everybody believed that Zeus was in the sky and responsible for lightning bolts and whatnot. Just because the masses believed it, I'm not going to believe it. So you can tell me as much as you want she's a scammer. Again, the evidence hasn't been produced. So that doesn't make me foolish. It actually makes you more foolish for believing things that aren't really actual evidence. And you're just believing hearsay because it's fun. Because it's fun to hate people. Because then you get all these friends who also hate her. And y'all remind me of the hyenas in Lion King that live in the graveyard. And y'all just feel so cool in your own little graveyard. And y'all want to try to bring down Mufasa. That's what it reminds me of, honestly. And I always have to make a Disney reference. Sorry, I just love Disney. But yeah, so I don't really have anything else to say. I'm talking really, really fast because my kids are to the right of me. And they're giving me the look, as I call it, because I need to get off of here. But yeah, again, I am one of the first to call Joy out. I am one of the first to confront her. I think a lot of what she does is vulgar. I do not agree with all her excessive amounts of cursing. I didn't think it was okay when, as much as I cannot stand the spoiled attitude of Lainey, Onision's wife's little sister, as much as I feel like Lainey's little sister takes, like, really, thinks that she can get away acting any way she wants just because she's a minor. At the same time, I don't think it was right for Joy to yell at her because, you know, I think back to when I was that young and I might have been more impulsive and I might have had some more nerve and I might have spoken my mind more. And I would have felt really kind of sick to my stomach if I knew that there's this grown woman who was shouting down to me. So there are a lot of things that I don't agree with her on. I think a lot of times she takes a wrong approach. And her best friend, Mike, an actor, has also said the same thing. He's even said he doesn't necessarily even like her content. That's a pretty ballsy thing to admit about your best friend. So when we're accused of being on some bandwagon, it is the irony in that when we can actually admit a lot of things that we don't like about the woman, but the haters can't, like, it is, I think they would, I don't know, I could never actually see them admitting that they could possibly be wrong. That is more of a cult mentality. So I hope this actually recorded because my screen just went out like 5 minutes ago or however long ago, I don't know, but I can't really tell, so let's see. Oh my Lord. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to upload this and I'm waiting for the comments for people to just say that I'm up her, quote, butthole and not actually, well, you know what? Think whatever you want, say whatever you want. Have a great day. Bye.